Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dodgeboy, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be doing something kind of different. Since we're like in the middle of Season of Dawn, things have been kicking off. I'll be talking about my thoughts about the state of Destiny 2 at the current particular moment. Now we're going to be starting out with PvE. Basically, my thoughts on PvE and everything this season. Sundial. Sundial is a very good activity. The rewards are phenomenal. I think my favorite one out of them all is probably got to be the scout rifle. The patron lost causes. I love the roll on it. You can get rapid hit explosive payload or full auto explosive payload. Both those are phenomenal rolls. If you don't have one, I'd recommend you go and farm for one. It is a very, very good scout rifle for PvE and PvP. One of my friends had been trying to farm for the role for quite a long time, and he finally got it, so congrats to that person. I'm not naming people for reasons. I don't really have too much to talk about PvE. The main thing I'm going to be talking about is it's too grindy. I believe that PvE is too grindy, but yes, PvE is supposed to be grindy because of all the good loot you get. But there's ups and downs to the grindy part. With it being too grindy, yeah, it gives you things to do, so you don't have to just sit there all day doing nothing. It's not that bad, but it is something that gives you something. The only bad part about it is that some people aren't able to get things done within the allotted amount of time that's given, with the fact that it being too grindy. I don't really have too much else to talk about. I think the raids for PvE are phenomenal. PvE is in a perfectly good spot. At the moment, it is fantastic. It's doing great. I love where it's going. I'm interested to see where they're taking it next season. I believe it was data mined that the next season's going to be called Season of the Worthy. I'm looking forward to that. I think we've got about 36 to 37 days left in the season. I don't know. I could be wrong. And now we're going to talk about Garden of Salvation. Garden of Salvation, that raid, it lags a whole lot. It's the only downside to that raid is the fact that my frames will die. I don't know if you guys haven't seen it in some of my other videos that I stream Garden, but the frames just die. Sometimes I'm afraid my PS4 might just commit suicide because of the amount of because of how quickly the frame rate drops. Sundial, as I've said, pretty easy. We don't have the last boss comes out tomorrow. Still working on that title. I gotta do Sundial without dying. I'll probably maybe something like that post when I get that done. I'll definitely do a post when I get the title, which is what I'm going to be farming for this season. My main goal to do it. Thoughts on Izanagi's? I just got it a few days ago. Thank you to the other person I mentioned earlier for helping me with that. I like it a lot. Probably my favorite PvE sniper or favorite PvE primary at the moment. The hand cannon came with the Orchid. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm using the curated roll in there, which is Rampage Kill Clip. The only hand cannon that can roll with that. It's a Black Armory hand cannon. If you do not have it, I recommend you go farm for it right now. I don't care what you're doing. Pause this video, go farm for it. It is fantastic. You will enjoy it so much. Because in PvP, it can 2-tap. So, yeah. That's about it for PvE. So let us talk about PvP now. Some of the things about PvP nowadays are... It's fun. I enjoy PvP a lot. I play it a lot. But some of the things I cannot stand about PvP is the toxicity, man. People are just trying to play this game to have fun, and if you're just going to be toxic and make the game not enjoyable for other people, then you shouldn't play it. Because if your goal is just to play it and make it not enjoyable and try to ruin other people's day when they're trying to have fun, that's on you. You can enjoy having that feeling in your conscience of feeling guilty about that. That's all you. Some of the other stuff about PvP is comp. I've been loving comp so much. It is fantastic. I've been playing it all the time now, trying to hit legend. I think I'm mythic 1 or 2 right now, highest I've ever been. It's fun. 3v3 survival. I love it. Hopefully next season we're getting trials back. That's been data mined. Another thing is loot incentive. If I'm going to play PvP, I want to be able to get the things that high-end PvE players can get, or some loot instead of the very few drops you get at the end. That's usually blue gear. If I'm gonna play PvP, I would like some loot at the end of it. Not a whole lot more, just a little bit more. Give us a reason to play. If you could make the bounties like they were in D1 drop legendary gear like it always was in D1, I love that. That would make my life so much easier when I'm doing stuff for gear. So it'll give other people a reason to play PvP. The will to play, like I've just stated, if I'm gonna play PvP, I'm gonna go in there expecting to have some fun, not make it too big of a deal about it. Just enjoy the game like it's supposed to be played, and have fun about that. Some of the weapons that are enjoyable now, that are toxic in many ways. I know a lot of people say they're toxic. Granted, yes, I've used some of these weapons. I will admit some of them are very toxic. Such as my favorite secondary shotgun, Mindbender's Ambition. I love this shotgun to death. It is a fantastic shotgun. I enjoy it so much. My role is, I believe, one of the best roles. Slide shot, rampage, accurized rounds, rifle barrel, and range masterwork. My friends hate it when I use it when we're private matching because I always slide shotgun like I'm a Call of Duty player. Yeah, I grew up playing Call of Duty. Sue me. It's a very enjoyable weapon. Air Intel. Don't even get me started on that weapon. I hate it. I'm just going to straight up, flat out say it. I hate the gun. I hate Air Intel. I hate everything about it. It should not exist. Lord of Wolves, another weapon I hate. It is so toxic. I hate people who use it. That is the definition of having no skill. People who say that's a shotgun, you're a liar. That is a pulse rifle. A 5-round burst pulse rifle that takes special ammo and can one-tap. I would rather use Air Intel than... I would rather die to an Air Intel than die to that. Because if I die to that, it means something's wrong with me and the other person using it. Then you've got Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten. Those two hand cannons have suffered a lot since their nerf in not Shadowkeep and Forsaken, when they went from 180s to 150 or not 180s to 140s, 140s or 150s. Can't remember the top of my head. Luna, they still feel great. Granted, they're not as good as they used to be, but they still feel phenomenal. The one-hit hunter KO knives, yes, they're toxic, and I love it. I have been using these knives so much. This is what I waited for when Shadowkeep came out. The knives were what I waited for. Were what I was waiting for the most for Shadowkeep. Was the knives. They're so good. You don't understand. I love them to death, and I never take them off. That's why I've been running Aphidious Faith with them, and it's pretty good. In concept, yes, it looks good. In concept, not. It's a good exotic. In my opinion, other people say otherwise. I think it's good. Then you've got, what is it? Jotun. Let me just put it this way. If you use Jotun, you're more of a degenerate than a Lord of Wolves user. I'm just going to flat out say that. I don't know why people use Jotun in PvP. It's just a point and click toaster oven. That's all it is. You just look at them, and it's just, oh yeah, I see you. Let's hold down the trigger. Ping, boom, dead, woohoo. Let me just go after the next person. It is the least skillful weapon I have ever gone up against. I would rather tie a rope around my neck and throw myself off a bridge than die to a Jotun. That's how bad it is. I hate Jotun. That's how much I despise that weapon. Now we're talking about a little bit of Gambit. I have no Gambit footage to put over this, but we're talking about the Gambit weapons, and ritual weapons, and what I think of them, my opinions on them. The Gambit's in a good spot. It's always been in a good spot. I'm not the biggest Gambit player. If you want to know stuff about that, go watch some other YouTubers talk about Gambit. But yeah, the Gambit weapons, Python, I love it. It is my favorite PvE shotgun. I have hardly taken it off since I got it. And then I got Izanagi's. I love Izanagi's. It's so good. Oh my gosh, you don't understand. I got it a few days ago. I know I'm a bit late at that. I tend to put things off till like the last possible minute, such as Legend of Acreus. I don't have it yet, but I'm going to have it soon. Trust me. I'm not that much of a degenerate to just never not get it. It's one of the few weapons I'm missing from my collections. 20% Delirium. It's a very good not SMG. It's a very good LMG. I enjoy it all the time. Well, I enjoyed it a lot. I prefer my Hammerhead though, because it's Hammerhead. I use it all the time in PvE. Exit strategy, not as good as Recluse. It's exit strategy. It's just a primary SMG. It's just another one of those. Back to Recluse. It didn't suffer too terribly much after its nerf. It's still good. It's still dominant in PvP and PvE. It is fantastic. I don't use it much. I don't use it too terribly much anymore. Although I should use it more because it's good. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I prefer my Kindled Orchid. And if you, I do not believe I said this or not. But if I did, my bad. If you do not have a curated Kindled Orchid, stop what you're doing now and go get one. I believe I've already said this, but I'm gonna restate it. It is so good. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. I love it. I got mine a few days ago. Finally got it to drop. I have not taken it off since. It is amazing. Absolutely phenomenal. And Breakneck, I love the buff. I love the buff so much you don't understand. It's my favorite primary auto rifle at the moment. Next, we're going to talk about the hard light buff. The hard light change, it wasn't really a buff, it was more like a change to the stability. It does not feel like an earthquake anymore. I love that. Thank you, Bungie. That was what we wanted for so long. Since D1, it has never felt so much better to use till this date. Sidearms are phenomenal now. So another good one, a very good sidearm next to Rat King. If you're just looking for a sidearm and you don't feel like farming one, Rat King's a good option. But another very good sidearm, Traveler's Judgment 5. You can easily go farm that now. I had one with a base stability of 100 because the roll I got before I masterworked it. It was phenomenal. I've one-tapped a few people with it, but it's more common to get 2 to 3 taps. If you can hit all crits, it is phenomenal. I do recommend you getting one. It is fantastic. I used it for the first good bit of Season of Dawn. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the season so much, man. Season ranks, I like the idea of them. They're pretty good. Nothing really to hate there. I recently hit season rank 100. I love the pigeon emote. Yeah. And what's next? Sundial. Sundial's good. It's very good. I think I've already talked about that. I know I'm restating a lot of stuff because I'm just trying to emphasize how much I think the state of Destiny has changed since year 1 of D2. It's changed a lot, man. I love the changes. Forsaken really did a lot for D2 once it came out, giving us the random world weapons. Cade dying, great. Yes, I'm still am sad about Cade, but it brought all our guardians and brought the community together for a lot. Just like the Bastion puzzle, I didn't talk about that. The Bastion puzzle, or the Corridors of Time puzzle. If you weren't able to participate in the event, at least if you just send in some screenshots and stuff, that would have helped. That helped a lot. That brought the community together in a way that hasn't been done since D1. It was so great. I remember waking up at 3 in the morning because I had to go to the bathroom. I remember waking up, checking my phone, so that the puzzle had been solved. I immediately jumped on Destiny, hopped on, got one of my buddies online. We went and did the Bastion quest. Got it done an hour and a half later. Such a good quest. I loved it. I loved every second of it. Saint 14's speech. Oh my gosh, I almost cried. It was so great. But that about wraps up what I was wanting to talk about in this video. Destiny 2 is in a fantastic state right now. In my opinion, I think it's doing great. PvE, phenomenal. PvP, a little better. I think it's, for PvP, I think it's not just Bungie messing up here. I think it's a little bit of both the community and Bungie, the players and Bungie. It's not just each one in a whole. It's a little bit of both parties' faults. So if you watched to the end of this video, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed. This is a new kind of video I'm starting to do now, where I just talk about things, what I think. And if you also leave a like and comment, like, and subscribe, because I want to be relevant in this day and age, and that's pretty hard to do nowadays. But yeah, I want you, if you did make it to the end, comment I made it to the end, and also what class you play in Destiny 2. Because I'm curious to see how many people, if you do play Destiny, I'm curious to see how many hunters we have out there. Hashtag Hunter Master Race. Titans are good too. Warlocks are pretty darn good too. I love the new Warlock changes. Attack helicopter mode. You'll literally become a vehicle. It's the most fun I've had on Warlock in a while. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.